May is finally over. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of June. If you're not into reselling, that's okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hyped sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because, hey, we're all trying to save a little money here and there. Specifically, we will be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even potentially sit on shelves resulting in a sale. Feel free to subscribe and enable post notifications to stay 100% updated on all these profitable sneakers because I do often make how to cop guides as well. You could also follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, for more urgent updates such as shock drops, for example. Kicking it off, let's begin with June 1st. June 1st, Vans will be dropping a collaboration with National Geographic, sneakers ranging from $75 in the lows to $95 in the high. I wouldn't expect these to perform similar to how the NASA collaboration did on their initial drop, which was actually pretty decent. I do not think that will be the case with these. I'd compare these closer to the Van Gogh Vans, if you guys remember those. Therefore, I wouldn't exactly suggest sleeping if you do want a personal pair, but I'm not generally suggesting them for resale purposes. I say generally because I do feel that despite demand being very low, with the low retail, you may actually be able to make some lunch money on these, specifically the two black pairs with the dog and frog. Don't go full throttle though, because I just see some potential for the more patient sellers out there when it comes to these. Overall, mainly a personal pair though. Another June 1st one for $175 would be the Air Max 95 Greedy, releasing again but only in Europe. I would only suggest going for sizes 10.5 and up if you're in Europe, and it's strictly just going to be lunch money even in those larger sizes. Don't sleep if you do want a personal pair for any size though. Also June 1st for $180, we have the Air Max 95 Safari. Personal pairs only when it comes to these, and you may even potentially be able to find these for under retail in the secondary market. Moving to June 2nd and also June 26th for $130, the Air Force One Puerto Rico will be dropping. These already have pretty decent demand, and there is lots of potential for them to rise the usual average of 10% post-drop as well. Overall, there's good potential for lunch money, and the margin may not be terrible since retail is so low at $130. Don't worry guys, it's only June 1st. I know it doesn't sound all that exciting just yet, but trust me, June is looking absolutely insane. Prior to moving on to the rest of June though, I do want to announce to you guys, for everyone who's been asking, Endurance will finally be having a limited restock for US and Europe June 1st, Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. local in Europe. Tweeted from KeithAdam10. I really did think that April was an insane month, but it seemed to have only gotten better in May. I highly suggest you check out the success page because success really does speak for itself in terms of profitability for the group. You may be asking yourself what exactly makes Endurance different. Well, to start, Endurance offers several softwares completely free for all members to help them exploit drops. All members have access to a custom Q-bot to help them efficiently pass waiting rooms on sites like Adidas, Finish Line, Mesh, Kicks USA, and it even has a cookie feature for efficiently passing Q on Yeezy Supply. There's also a Supreme Add to Cart bot to make manual checkouts fast and extremely easy for you guys who don't have bots. That in addition to a Dick's Sporting Goods and Shoe Palace bypass system, but that's not the end of it. We love innovation over here and we're always constantly developing new things to separate us from others. Now my personal favorite above all would be the Nike sneakers early info for shock drops, scratches, AR hunts, sneaker stashes. You'll never have to stress about that ever again. You could kick back, relax, we'll take care of everything for you, make sure you're always prepared. When it comes to monitors, we cover everything you could possibly think of, even for non-sneaker related items. So again, the limited restock will be at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. local in Europe, June 1st, tweeted from my Twitter, KeithAdam10. But anyway, let's get back to the releases because I know that's what you guys are here for. Moving to June 5th for $225, the LeBron 17 Graffiti will drop. Although I wouldn't sleep if you did want personal pairs, I do not suggest copying these with resale intentions at all. Also June 5th for $190, the Jordan 6 Hair will be making its return. Recently, classic Jordan retros have had very high demand. Considering these retail for only $190 rather than $200, the extra $10 of wiggle room really does leave decent potential for lunch money on these, especially with what we've seen recently with the Flint Jordan 13s. Those have been doing absolutely incredible. I'm glad I got a ton of those. Moving to June 6th for likely $110 or $120. I'll confirm that soon. We have the Air Force One drooly. Although these these are very minimalistic. There is still somewhat decent demand considering stock isn't very limited. I'm not expecting anything fantastic from these, but they do present another lunch money opportunity. With sneakers like that tend to carry a little risk, just keep in mind sites like Sneakers, Foot Sites, Finish Line, Hibbits, they all do have free returns. Also June 6th, for only $100, gotta love that retail, we have another New Balance 327 dropping, this time in wax blue. There is certainly easy small profit to be made when it comes to these. Most importantly, you could expect a pretty decent margin on these considering retail is only $100. And the last one for June 6th, for $225, the second pair of the Jordan 3 Animal Instincts will be dropping. They've actually already dropped at some Europe retailers. Just like the first one, since the retail is $225 and demand isn't really that great on these, you likely will be able to find these for under retail if you do want a personal pair. Moving to June 11th, for $170, we will be getting the Jordan 11 tie-dye. Demand is very high on these currently, and by the time the drop approaches, we should still expect some decent profit with a decent margin on these in all sizes. The best sizes normally will be the very small sizes or the very large sizes, since this is a women's pair, and if you do need a personal pair, go up 1.5 size. Also on June 11th, we have 5 other pairs of Nikes. It's essentially just Nike Space Hippie Pant. There are 5 shoes from this initial release. To start, the 03 retails for $180 and is showing potential to be a little more than lunch money, nothing insane, but still solid profit with a solid margin as well. Next up, the 01 retails for $130, therefore the profit margin is looking to be really incredible on these. Demand may even be pretty close to what we see on the 03, which makes these very profitable since the retail is significantly lower as well. The 04 also looks like the margin will be great due to the low retail of $130 as well, but demand isn't quite as high as the 01. The 02 seems to have demand just shy of the 01, but the retail is slightly higher at $150 rather than $130. Regardless, the profit is still looking pretty good on these as well. Then we will see another 04 drop, but in Volt. This one shows the least potential out of the bunch, but regardless, there still should be some easy small profit with a decent margin. Now, of course, keep in mind, this is very far out from the drop as well. I don't have much to compare these to in comparison to prior drops, which is what I normally do for sneakers. I'm strictly basing this off of current demand and knowledge that stock isn't going to be high, so I'll have to keep you guys updated on these, but it's certainly something to look out for without a doubt. Moving on, one of my favorite drops this month, the Dunk Low Red for only $100. Expect every single size on these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin. Full throttle on these, no holding back whatsoever. Also on the 12th, we will be seeing the Reebok Question Low release in orange. Regarding the blue pair, those will release later in the month, which we will discuss. Retail is only $120, which does leave some room to make a little bit of lunch money on these. Sales do tend to be slower on these though. There still should be profit to be made nonetheless. Moving on to June 13th, for $220, the Yeezy 350 Zyon will finally be releasing after a delay. These are in extremely high demand, one of the highest that we have seen in a very long time for 350s, and although stock is high, I still suggest going for all sizes on these. Of course, under 8 will still be the most profitable though. Also June 13th, for $200, the top 3 Jordan 5s will be dropping. Demand for these right now is absolutely insane as well. Of course, you should expect it to drop as we approach to the 13th, but regardless, these still should be profitable in all sizes. Big sizes still should be the best though. Jumping to June 16th, for only $140, we'll be seeing another Air Max 90 Duck Camo release, this time in orange, after we've already seen the original pair and the green Ghost. I highly suggest going for sizes 10 and up for these, just like the last pairs. There should be easy profit to be made, and if you do have no tax, you could even go for some of the smaller sizes as well and still make some lunch money there. Also June 16th, potentially, I say potentially because it's not 100% confirmed, we should be seeing the Mocha Jordan 1 drop. If hypothetically these do drop on that date, you can expect all sizes to be profitable. Of course though, smaller sizes will do better. Moving to June 18th, for $185, the women's Jordan 11 Concord will be dropping. Now these aren't actual Concord lows, but that's what they're calling this colorway. Based off how the Concord Bread did post the Europe drop, it seems that there is sufficient demand on 11 lows to get you some lunch money with a poor margin. margin, nothing incredible. And don't sleep, of course, if you guys do want a personal pair. Remember, these are women's. Go up 1.5 sizes if you do want a personal. Then potentially on the 18th or just another random day, we will be seeing the Yeezy 380 Blue Oat reflective drop. Just like the Mist, they won't be doing too well. You should still go for all sizes though, because they still will be easy profit in the reflective variant. I'm not suggesting to go for the non-reflective variant, at least not now. On to the 19th for $120, the Air Force 1B True will be dropping. The Air Maxes did awful, if you guys remember those, so I'm not really expecting much for these, although there should be slightly more demand on these being an Air Force 1 compared to the Air Maxes. And the retail is $10 lower, so that is something to be noted. So there is some potential for a little bit of lunch money on these with a poor margin. Really nothing great though. Also on the 19th, we will be getting the Reebok Question in Blue, which I discussed earlier after seeing the orange release earlier this month. These should do slightly better than the orange overall. You should be able to see some easy small profit to be made on these with a decent margin, being that retail is only $120. On to the 20th, starting with the normal Blue Oat 380s. Don't cop for resale purposes, at least as of now, only if you want a personal pair. This is based off how the Mists performed. Perhaps it'll change as we see demand towards the drop, but I really doubt that. Also on the 20th, the Concord Bread 11 will be having their US release. If you guys remember, Europe already released these. There is potential for lunch money on these because I can see a potential slight increase post-US drop, but nothing too significant. Expect a poor margin regardless on these. I'm not sure I suggest them if you do have tax, but this may change closer to the 20th. I'll keep you guys updated. Also on the 20th, the Supernova Air Max pack will be dropping. I can't say too much since it's really far out and little info is known on these, but the Air Max 90 in sizes 10 and up should perform well enough for at least small profit. I can't say too much for the other two pairs though, but if you do want personals, I wouldn't suggest sleeping. Currently, out of all these, I would still stick to the Air Max 90 in sizes above 10. Another 6 pairs dropping on the 20th would be the rest of the Jordan 4 metallic pack. I can certainly confirm that the red is going to be dropping at some retailers, although the others may potentially be at different dates. I'll keep you guys updated. Of course, the leftover pairs after the purple are the red, green, and orange. Men's are 190, of course, and the grade school are 140. The red pair will do very well in both grade school and men. I would suggest copying all sizes. Then regarding the green, you should be able to get some lunch money with a poor margin on these, similar to what we saw with the purple. And the orange, I really only suggest going for it if you have no tax and you're okay with a really poor margin. The last one for the 20th for $125, we have the digital pink Jordan 1 drop at a select few retailers. The majority of retailers for most of these mids are random. However, we should be seeing a few specifically on the 20th. All sizes when it comes to these will be profitable despite them being a mid. Similar to the Supernova Air Max pack, the same goes for the women's Air Force 1 perspectives. I'll have to update you guys on these, but they certainly are not to be ignored. I wouldn't sleep if you guys do need a personal pair for the wife at the very least. Jumping to the 25th for $100, we have another Dunk Low, specifically the Dunk Low Champs colors. Expect these to be extremely profitable with an incredible margin, just like the red pair. Also on the 25th, the Yeezy Quantum Barium will be dropping for $250. All sizes should be profitable with a good margin on these as well, although I'm not expecting as much as the original lifestyle basketball color, of course. Still profitable regardless. Over to the 27th, the Jordan 14 Gym Red will be dropping for $190. I would suggest only buying for personal wear, and you may even be able to find these for under retail if you are patient. Also for the 27th for $190, the Jordan 5 alternate grape should also be dropped. There will be a lot of demand for this colorway, and I can see these performing similar to the Fire Reds, and the best part is these are $10 cheaper than the Fire Reds. These are only going to be $190 compared to $200, leaving just a little bit more wiggle room for a better margin. So it's still just about small profit or lunch money for the most part, but regardless, it's something to keep note of. Also on the 27th, we have the Yeezy 350 Zebra restock, but it's only confirmed for Asia so far. The good news is that Kith did randomly restock these the other day. Then again, they also did restock the Xion too, and really all retailers have been restocking the Akeels, the Yezreels, the Stones, the Wave Runners, and the Vantas. So it's very possible we may see more Zebra restocks in the US. I think it'll be more randomized though, similar to what we saw with the past Yeezy restocks we've been seeing over the last few months, rather than all on the 27th, which is what it is for Asia currently. Very profitable, of course, you guys should already know when it comes to these Zebras. And finally, the last sneaker with no date for $220. Sometime this month, we should be seeing the Yeezy 350 Isofil. Expect all sizes to be easy small profit on these, but of course, under 8 will be the best. Anyway, guys, with that will conclude it. Remember, the limited endurance restock for US and Europe will be 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. local for Europe, April 1st, Friday, tweeted from Keith Adam 10. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed or you perhaps learned a thing or two. Also, subscribe and enable post notifications to stay 100% updated. With that, enjoy your day. Good luck on all these releases, of course.